Welcome to another video of mine. Today I'm gonna welcome a very close friend of mine from US, from United States of America, currently living in Austria. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I'm great. So glad to have you here. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
I have been very excited ever since you said yes to this meeting. So what you have been up to?
Sorry, could you repeat that? It cut out.
What have you been up to?
So lately I've been up to just talking to some people on the street. I'm still learning German here in Austria.
Mhm.
But um, I've been doing work for my church. It's been
Mhm.
really great. But mostly just kind of trying to get a hang of the language, trying to get talking with people around here, and just get that social relationships with people, I guess you could say.
Great, so great work. I really like what you are doing. I really appreciate you are just like you told me, you are doing it for free,
Hmm.
right? You don't
Exactly, yeah.
you don't charge any amount of money, right?
Hmm.
Great. I really appreciate it, mate. I wish I could do something of that sort as well for free, but I can't because I have a family to look after, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the language, the English language. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think for a non-native speaker should do to improve it in the easiest way and the fastest?
I mean, the fastest and easiest way is definitely to go and talk with other people, and then to go and review what you said correctly, what you didn't say correctly, and to have this person to also give some feedback. It's helpful to have a little bit of experience beforehand with the grammar, that way you understand why things are said the way they're said. But the most important thing really is talking with people, because that's how you get it stuck in your head. That's how you get it to keep in there and be able to have it come back out correctly as well.
Yeah, you're right. I think you said it right. We should talk to people who are native speakers, who speak the language as their native, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I have been trying to do it for a very long time, but I did not have people to talk to, right?
Mm.
Finally, I got you, and I'm making it, possible.
Mm.
And I also would like to have some feedback on my communication skills later,
Hmm.
right?
I could do that.
So, how do you find it since you're already learning a second language? How do you find it to learn the second language? Since it is also my second language,
Mm.
is it difficult or it is just okay to learn the second language?
It definitely is kind of difficult. I've heard that you're learning a second language is the hardest. Once you get past that first language you've learned, so you have your native tongue, your mother tongue, and then you have your any other language you learn after that. And the first language that you have to actually learn, that is usually the most difficult, because you have to understand what the different grammar terms are. You have to learn how to communicate with other people in a way that you don't really know what you're saying, and you're not comfortable with it. But after you've learned that second language, then the other ones are much more easy, because you're much more confident in saying something that you're not totally sure of, but also just talking with people and getting it out there regardless of how well you can say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I have been doing for years now. Earlier, I used to take some lessons. Then I started working. I started reading some grammar books. Now, what I do is I just talk to people, right? And read some newspapers every day and try to read literature when I get have some time to do
Mhm.
that. That's what I do on daily basis. Do you think
Mhm.
is there anything that I could do apart from what I'm doing?
I mean, I think what you're doing already is very good. I've met a few people out here. That's the only way they've learned English. They did some in the school. They did some in school, and then they also just would watch videos, listen to music, and then they can speak English because of that. They have a very very good understanding because of the wide variety of things that are said that are just in programs and from newspapers and such. I think that that's a very good place to start if you don't have any native speakers in your immediate vicinity. Um, I would definitely recommend watching movies though, because if you can watch movies, then it helps you understand the flow of conversation a little bit better.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's scripted, so it's a little different. It's not a totally normal conversation, but it does help kind of get the responses to things and help understand
It helps you
what it means.
understand the expressions.
Sorry, come again?
It helps you understand the expressions.
Exactly. Exactly, yeah. Because there's more to it than just what people say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do watch. I do watch so many movies every week, and I was watching a movie when I messaged you,
Hmm.
and I'm so into watching movies every day. I think I watch one or two movies every day, and I really like watching movies. I've been watching movies for many years now, as far as I remember, and
Mhm.
it really helped me improve my English and overall communication skills.
Mm. Yeah, I believe it.
Besides, I have been teaching English for 8 years now. It also helped me improve it. You know, when you teach, so you learn as well.
Hmm. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, for what I used to do and what I still do, I read something first, and then I
Hmm.
teach the same, exact same,
Yeah.
and that's how you get to learn better.
Hmm. Yeah, because once when you have to teach it, and you have to understand it well enough that you can go and kind of show it to somebody else. I think that's really important with the grammar rules. When you can teach it to somebody else, that means you can kind of organize it in your head while you speak as well.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I started doing it. I think it really helped me improve my English, and I highly recommend that if somebody is trying to learn the language, they do it,
Mm.
right. Whether you can teach your son or daughter, right, or you can just have some online students. You can get some online student to teach for free.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I do that a lot.
what are the things one should consider before starting to learn a language?
I mean, something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, as I've been continuing to learn German, is
Mhm.
setting goals and making a plan to reach those goals, which is really important when learning a language because um, it's very easy to get discouraged when you're learning a language because
Yeah,
it's not a small thing and it takes a long time as well.
yeah.
It's kind of a journey.
It took
But
me
if you
eight
can,
years to
yeah,
be able to speak.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
English is not an easy language, but if you can set a goal, say like I want to be able to have full conversations with people by the 2-year mark, and then you got to go. It's like, hey, that's a great goal. You have a timeline, and you know what you want to do. That's awesome. But then you have to go and you have to put the plan afterwards. So if you can do all that before you start learning, then that'll really help you to go and know how fast you need to go and what things you need to do in order to get to that point. For example, um, I would like to learn 3 words of this language every day, and I would like to go and talk with somebody who is either learning this language or speaks this language already at least once every week, and then they can help me to go and learn that. Those would be some plans you could set to go and achieve that goal.
Yeah, so informative. You know, I try to say to my students, you should try to watch movies and read something every day. You could read for 10 to 15 minutes every day. It will help you, gain more knowledge about English if you read it, right? Read something or other.
Hmm.
And what else I ask them to do is listening, right? When you're trying to learn a language, you should work on four things, right? Which are required: speaking, reading, listening,
Hmm.
and of course, reading,
Hmm.
writing as well,
Yeah.
right? So,
Hmm.
like you said, you're trying to learn German. So, what all do you do?
Uh, so the things that I'm doing right now, we actually just with the people I work with and associate with. we just started this new challenge, and it's a 47-day challenge.
Mhm.
And we have this book that we talk about, and it's the principles of our church actually. And we can hear it. There's an audio version of it, and we can also read it as well. And so in the morning we go and we listen to it for 30 minutes, and then we also read through it for 30 minutes, and then we also go and we read it aloud to other people. We talk about it, and so that helps us to go and use multiple of those senses. And then we want to do writing activities, and we would go and we could, for example, write each other through Messenger on Facebook. And that helps us kind of get through all of those things. That's something that I'm doing specifically, and hopefully by the end of the 47 days, my German will be significantly better. But among other things that I do, I have some textbooks that I go through. I do every single problem in that book. Even if I feel like I kind of know that already, I go through and do it anyway, just to go make sure it's solid in my brain. And then I also make sure to go and read books and listen to music, like you said that you've been doing as well.
Okay. I get this question a lot from my students. They try to speak very fast, and I recommend that they don't speak fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should be slow. They should be they should be slow. They should be clear. They should be precise. I mean, what I mean by clear, they should be accurate. So
Mm-hmm.
don't try to be fast rather than being accurate and precise,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Exactly.
What do you think a learner should do when he or she starts speaking the language?
Mm-hmm. So the very beginning,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's a good question. I think when it comes to speaking the language, I would say, once again, set some goals for what you want to do.
Mhm.
The goals are very important. They help kind of make you stretch. But I think also just set time to review, and then also give time for the person to give you feedback.
Mhm.
But on top of that, you can just set some times where you're going to go and have a short time where you can just go and be only speaking that language, and you
Mhm.
can have a short break where you're speaking your native language or a language that's easier for you. And you can go and you can kind of go back and forth between this language, regardless of how difficult it is, what you're trying to say, and then going back to your native language. That helps you, because sometimes if you try and speak both at the same time, just
Yeah.
like switch back whenever you need to, then sometimes if there's something more difficult, you'll just say it in the easier language and you won't say it in the new language you're trying to learn.
Okay. I mean, when you talk to somebody from Germany, do you think, like you said last time, they are very, good at speaking English as well?
Hmm. Yeah.
Are they? So when you try to have a conversation with them, especially with the fathers, do they have a conversation with you without any difficulty? Do they understand you 100%?
Um, that's a good question. I usually try to speak with them in German, since I'm the one that's learning German and we are in a German speaking country. And usually we're able to understand each other. I don't know if they understand me perfectly because my German is not perfect. Um, However, I do believe that usually when we're able to communicate, it's quite clear what we're talking about, and there isn't much miscommunication.
Mhm.
Um, and then if I do need to say something in English, it's usually their understanding is naturally very much better than their speaking ability. That's just how it is.
Mhm.
But so if there's something that I can't say in German, then I usually can say it at least partially in English, and they will be able to go and tell me how to say that in German, and also be able to understand it just fine. Because people here, they learn it for, I think, 10 years of their life in school, so they can speak English quite well.
Uh, I mean, in Europe, how many countries you have been to?
Not many. This is actually my first time in Europe. I flew from America to England, and there I had to quarantine in order to come into Germany.
Mhm.
So I was only there for 2 weeks. Then I came to Germany, and I was there for a little while. Then went to Austria in Vienna, and then I went to Switzerland. And I've kind of just moved back and forth between those three countries for the most part.
So, what do you think are the most beautiful countries in Europe?
That is a hard one. Um, I mean, Switzerland does have the Alps, and those are very beautiful. And it's also very easy to get on top of those mountains because they have a very good system in order to do that.
Yeah.
Um, Austria is also very beautiful, and I haven't been to northern Germany, so I wouldn't know how it is up there, central or northern Germany. But southern Germany also very nice, but I do prefer Switzerland or Austria.
What about Romania, Greece, Italy, Venice City in Italy?
Mhm. I've heard they're very beautiful. I haven't been there just yet. I hope to go there someday. The people that I have met, they said that Italy is very beautiful. Greece is also very beautiful, but they enjoy living in Switzerland or Austria and Germany a little bit more. I think that
Because
has a
there's
little
so
more to
many
do with,
beautiful beaches, you know.
yeah, that's
It
true.
does.
That's true.
I have a friend from Romania, a country close to Greece, and my friend has been there for many times. And the way she explains the beauty of Greece, the beauty of the beaches in Greece is unbelievable. I mean, I can't put it. I just feel the beautifulness, you know, the
Mhm.
beauty. I should say the beauty when she explains
Mm.
that to me. I really
Yeah.
want to go there. There, there are a few places in the world, in the few cities, in the few countries where I want to go when I have a chance. One of them is United States of America. I want to go to I mean I want to go to New York. I want to see it,
Mhm.
and later I want to go to Greece, and I also want to go to Switzerland if I get a chance. I think they say it's very expensive.
It is. It is very expensive there.
What makes the Switzerland expensive? What do you think?
Um, I mean, part of it is um, because of the monetary system. So most of Europe does use the euro. Sorry, that's the term way of pronouncing it, the euro. And Switzerland is only the economic area of the European Union, and so they still use their Swiss francs. And so the Swiss franc is still quite strong. It has a lot of worth. Um, but because of taxes and because of just the wealth of the country,
Mhm.
everything does cost a lot. And so, for example, gas is more expensive there than in Germany and Austria. I believe it's about 20 or 30 cents more per liter. And then I think milk is also about the same. So a lot of the groceries are more expensive.
Mhm.
They also have a lot of taxes on things that are imported.
It
So
will
that
say,
that also causes things. Yeah,
oh yeah.
the imports make it more expensive.
Is Great Britain and England is Great Britain part of Europe?
I believe so. It is counted as part of Europe. But they did just leave the European Union last year, if I remember correctly. So now they're in the European Economic Area, I believe. Don't quote me on that because, like I
Wha-
said, I don't know
um,
too much about it.
what I mean, which continent they belong to? Do you have any?
Um, I mean, they would belong to the European continent, but they are an island, so I don't know exactly how that works.
The Great
I'm
Britain,
not, yeah, because Great Britain is Scotland, England, and
England,
then Wales
Ireland.
and Northern Ireland.
Yeah, the England is a country itself.
Hmm. Well, so they all are one country, but they are, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but if I remember correctly, it's one country as Great Britain or the United Kingdoms now. But then um, they just kind of work
Now,
together.
how to understand the world geographically? If I go on a world tour, I might know,
Yeah, that might help. I agree. That might help.
right?
Yeah, something that helped me was meeting people from these different places. They're able to explain it and kind of tell me
I
what
have
was going
already started a YouTube channel. One YouTube channel. I'm gonna start one more. When
on.
I'm gonna go on a world tour, I'm gonna just make videos and upload them on you know on
Mhm.
across social media platforms,
Mhm.
and gonna get some views.
I can see you doing that. You'd be good at that. You'd be good at that. I can see it.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think you are gonna do after you are done here?
Yeah. So after I'm done in Europe, I will probably be heading back to the US the next few months.
Hmm.
After that, I do plan to go back to college since I'm still quite young, and
Oh,
so
what you
I will.
doing? What you doing in
So I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to go and study engineering. That's what I'd like to do. And then I'll probably probably be able to use my German for that, and then hopefully learn another language to use in coordination with that.
You're writing something. You want to show me what it is?
Yes, I am writing some of the things because you asked me to remember things for later for correction. So I'm just writing down things you've said. Kind of hard to see, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can show me later. You can tell me what it is.
Yeah, it's later. Yeah.
So what are you doing in education?
So I will learn how to be an engineer, specifically mechanical and manufacturing engineering is what I'll be studying. And that's everything from welding to computer programming to communication to everything in between. And so there's a wide variety of things that I can do there, and being able to speak a second or third language is very helpful in that line of work.
Like you said last time, there's gonna be a lockdown again.
We were thinking there was going to be. It's still not sure, and it seems like if there is going to be, they did push it back. They were thinking there was going to be one actually tomorrow, but instead what they're doing is they're making it so that the masking rules are a little bit more strict, and so we'll have to wear masks in more places. So if there is another lockdown, it will be at least another couple of weeks before that happens.
Yeah. You should hope they don't impose a lockdown countrywide.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yes. Yeah, it's kind of difficult because it's very difficult to be inside that much, especially with all the rules. It's very easy to have to be inside all day anyway.
yeah.
And so if you're in lockdown, you have to stay inside.
Great. I really, I really inspire by talking to you. I get to learn a lot. When I, talk to you, I get inspired itself. I mean, you are doing such a wonderful job. You are trying to teach people, by, volunteering to this church in Germany. That's really amazing. I really appreciate your work.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is there anything I may assist you with your work in any form?
That's a good question. We always love talking to people, and there's missionaries like me all around the world. And so I could definitely get you in contact with some of them. They could speak English with you there as well. But they're also quite busy, so I would just have to get you in touch with them, and you can talk to them if you want.
Yeah, like you said, we can talk more frequently. I'm sorry. If there is a lockdown, are there chances?
So if there isn't a lockdown, I would probably be able to manage at least once a week. But with it just depends on my schedule for that week. With a lockdown, we would definitely be able to talk 2-3 times a week. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to my visa. I'm trying to get my visa for US. If I get one, I'm gonna meet you wherever you are in the US.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Gonna throw a party.
I would definitely do that for you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to meeting you wherever you are. Do you like snow? What season it is in Europe?
Yeah. So right now it is winter and there is snow outside. It'd be kind of hard to show you.
It is really snow.
Yeah, it's currently snowing right now, actually. So.
Oh, it is snowy. It's not snowy here. It is just, the temperature is just maybe 15 and 16.
Oh wow.
It's okay here. I mean, if you go to different parts of this country, you may witness snow and some other things that people long to see.
Yeah, it's interesting because America is similar. Where in California, for example, on the beach you'll never see snow, and in Hawaii you can't see snow. It never gets cold enough. But in Utah, for example, where I'm from, then you see snow every year. It's very weird when there isn't snow in the winter.
You know one thing about India? India has everything if it comes to tourism. I mean, India has a desert. India has beaches. India has mountains and mountain ranges.
Hmm.
It has everything. What else a person will want?
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
want to see a desert, you want to see beaches, you want to see, mountains with covered with snow,
Mhm.
and here you have everything. You don't need to go out of the country.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
believe it.
India also has decent, dense forest, very
Yeah,
dense,
that's true. Yeah.
and islands too. Andaman Nicobar is full of islands.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting because in America we do have a lot of those similar things, but our forests are
I
they're
think
not
we
the
don't
same.
have a desert.
We do have desert. Utah, for example, is a very dry. It's considered a desert, but you also have what's it called? Um,
I mean, similar to Sahara.
it is. We do have some actually. There's one in New Mexico that it's called white sands, and it's just all the sand there is white, and it's
How
very
how
similar.
how
But
how
we
big
don't have
it
this.
is geographically?
That's a good question. I don't believe it's as big as some of the deserts in India, but there are multiple deserts in the U.S. But
Very
I wouldn't know
big
exactly how
in,
big it was.
it's very big in India. I mean,
I believe it. Yeah.
yeah. Although I have not been there myself, I want to go. I'm
Yeah.
really glued to my work. I don't get a chance to go anywhere. I'm always working, trying to discover something new, figuring out what and I could do next. That's
Hmm.
what I keep on doing.
Hmm.
It's Sunday, and I have already interviewed two people, one from US and the other one from England.
Okay. Yeah, I think you were telling me about a guy you were talking to from Great Britain. How is that the guy? Is it the same guy or is it somebody different?
No, I interviewed another guy. I told
Hmm.
him about you, the first one. He wanted
Hmm.
to talk to you. He's my
Hmm.
friend. He
Hmm.
just does whatever I ask him to do. He never minds.
That's awesome.
We both work for the same company.
That's really cool.
I have been teaching English online for 2 years, and he got hired last month. There is a company based in China named
Okay.
Whale.
Okay. Right. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that that's how you guys met then through work, and
yeah,
you just
yeah,
got
yeah.
talking and became friends? That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
I have maybe 10 to 15 native friends, but I don't talk to all of them. I talk to only a few of them. Some
Mhm.
of them are friendly, as you know, not everybody is friendly. They just
Yeah.
are busy doing their stuff, hanging out, talking to their friends. On weekends, they like to drink a bit, you
Hmm.
know. So
Hmm.
don't you sometimes?
Drinking or what exactly do you mean?
Yeah.
So I do not drink for religious reasons and health reasons. So I actually don't drink alcohol at all. I don't drink coffee either.
You're just like me. I'm vegetarian. I'm vegan. And neither I drink nor I eat meat.
Mm. I do still eat meat, but I do believe that it's not the best to eat a lot of meat. So it's an interesting
I
topic.
I I I am kind of interested in spiritualism.
Hmm.
You know, I I think I talked to you about it.
Hmm.
I like being a spiritualist. I can talk
Hmm.
to you about that. I mean, how we can do stuff if we know. I also perform yoga.
Hmm.
I've been performing that for 12 years now.
Hmm. The yoga part or for the
Yoga.
okay, yes, you can perform. I think yeah, you told me last time that you taught some of your friends or you did it with them, and then later they became teachers for yoga. I think I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I mean it helps you improve your immune system. It can, treat untreatable disease. I
Mm,
think I told you about a man from from Europe.
mhm,
He came to India, and he learned some yogic postures and yogasana, pranayama, and he treated himself. He had he was paralyzed down down waist, you know,
mhm. Yeah, from the waist down.
the waist down, and he treated himself.
Mhm. That's really cool.
That's the power of yoga.
Yeah, I think
Don't you want to try it sometime? I mean, don't you want to give it a try?
I would like to. I think last time I talked to you about how I had met somebody, I did some yoga with them that had gone to India and learned it there. But I would definitely like to go and give it another try because I could at least use the flexibility aspect. I'm not very flexible
You want to
physically.
go to India?
So I would love to go there someday, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
yeah,
if you got a chance.
yeah. It's just if I have the chance, which hopefully I'll have that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to welcome you to India. You know, in India, what we say, guest is like a god for us.
Mm.
We
Wow.
treat the guest with open arm, and we do everything possible to
Hmm.
make them feel good,
Hmm.
to make them feel the best journey ever.
That's really cool. I've never heard of that before, but that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. We are so welcoming.
Mhm. That reminds me of something that's in the US we call it Southern hospitality. And so, and I don't know how much of this is all true. But apparently, from what I've heard from people who live down in southern U.S., so in Georgia, Louisiana, Tennessee, um, it's a very big deal to go and be very respectful to guests as well. I don't know if it's as much as treating them like a god or goddess, but it's very much the case. It's just like if you need anything, like they'll like gladly do it. They'll do it for you. They'll go and they'll feed you till you're about ready to pop, and they'll go and they'll
Yeah, I
get a bunch of
mean,
ice there. They'll give you a massage.
a lot of people from European countries are, trying to come to India and follow Hinduism.
Mm,
Some of them are in, you may not like it, but they do. They come here and they just get themselves converted into a different religion. I don't
mhm,
know why. I really don't say you should do that.
mhm,
I personally, uh, I'm just neutral.
mhm.
I don't have a feeling. I don't have, you know, what they say. I really don't hate anybody. Neither I hate nor I love. I'm just neutral. If you come to me, I'll welcome you. If you don't come to me, it's okay.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah. I think it's a very interesting topic as well because like everybody kind of needs that spiritual aspect in their lives. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to. I personally believe that it's helpful, but like there is a spiritual aspect to everybody's life, and I feel like that gives purpose to a lot of people. And I think in the Western countries that spiritual aspect is kind of disappeared, and so it makes sense that people who come to India, a very spiritual place, from what I've heard,
Yeah,
to come and find that spiritual purpose again. That
yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, there's a movie um, made by, I mean, Marvel Studio
Mhm.
named Doctor Strange.
Yes,
They
I've
made
seen
a
that.
full movie about, India and its treatment done by yoga.
Mm,
So there is this guy, Doctor Strange, comes to India. Uh, I mean, seeking for the treatment. He was declared, untreatable, his disease. So he finds some grooves in Himalaya and learns. It's, they showed it very. It was not all fake. It was not all fake. It is true. If we come here, you can learn there are so many grooves. There's so many, Ayurvedic herbs, remedy, which can treat you, which can, if you perform yoga every day, the way you think, it will be, I don't know. If you sometimes what happens to our mind, our mind gets blocked. We don't have clarity about so many things. So it is just because of, I mean, we haven't used our mind that much. If you perform yoga, it, strengthens it improves, it increases the capacity of your mind, right? It gives you strength and energy to think more, right? And it gives you some kind of superpowers.
Yeah.
You can control your body using your mind. They say people used to do it, they used to control other people using their minds. It is still true. If if you just do yoga for years, deep down you will get some superpowers, natural energy. They say if you perform yoga and if you keep doing it for years, you won't die. You will die. It is a natural process, but you won't have a natural death. You will die as at age 100, maybe. I've seen people. Who died at age of the age of 100 and 120. What's the normal age nowadays? 60, 55 people die at this age.
Yeah, I think it depends on where you are. In the US, I believe it's roughly 85 is the normal age to die.
85. I don't believe that, because people are getting chronic disease nowadays. They are dying, right, because of their poor diet and food and lifestyle. I don't know what kind of food do you eat in Germany.
So here in Austria and Germany, it's very common to eat a lot of potatoes and a lot of it's kind of a heavy meat. But so there's a lot of like goulash, for example, if you know goulash.
What do you eat in breakfast? Not what's the typical German breakfast?
That's a good question. To be honest, I don't know a lot of typical German breakfast, but a lot of people do is they go to the bakery and they get a pastry of some sort or some type of bread, and they go and they'll eat that usually.
Oh my goodness, that's an enemy to your stomach. If you eat that kind of food, what you should do, you should eat only salad or maybe vegetable in the morning, or maybe juice. After 16, after 16 hours of fasting. What I mean by that, if you take food at 5 p.m. at 5 p.m. today, you should take food after the night will be over. So you should take food after 16 hours. If you do it, you will be healthier. Your digestion system, your your organs in the stomach and your liver and the neighboring organs in the stomach will be active. I mean, and last long. If you eat burger and pastry in the morning, it is really tough to digest for liver. I mean, liver, it takes too much to digest this kind of food,
Mm.
right? I was talking to a lady from United States. She is from Tulsa. Tulsa is a city in Oklahoma is a state. Is it a
Oklahoma.
state?
Yeah. Oklahoma, maybe.
Yeah. She was telling me what kind of food she takes every day. I told her what kind of food I take. I always take cooked vegetable and chapati and natural. She says to me, I take natural butter. I mean, what kind of butter you use? She says, I go to, grocery and get. I said to her, it's not natural. You know what I mean? Should I tell you what is natural? I I just milk,
Hmm.
a buffalo and
Hmm.
get the milk. Then I, process the milk and then I churn the milk, churn,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then I get the butter, pure butter
mhm,
out of the milk.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
pure butter. That's pure milk. That's pure curd.
Mhm.
What are the, she said, I just eat frozen meat and stuff. I mean food packed in plastic containers and food packed in polythenes. That's what I eat. I said, that's, you are just giving slow poison to your body.
Mm. Yeah,
you know
yeah. That's a big thing in America. Is a lot of the foods we have there are very processed. So they have a lot of additional chemicals or extra salt, or just extra things that makes them last longer. So they are you're able to eat them for longer without getting sick. But I do have, yeah.
I told her what she should avoid taking. There are three things she must avoid taking right away. First, white sugar. Second,
Mhm.
salt. And third is refined white flour.
Mm, interesting.
If you eat these things, they will kill you. They will kill your organs. It won't happen in a 2 or 3 years.
Mm.
If you wanna live longer, they say it's easy to be rich, but it's very tough to stay healthy,
Mm,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
So if you wanna be healthier, you really must avoid eating these three things: refined white flour, second white sugar, third is salt.
Mhm.
Try to take as less as possible. I know you can't,
Mhm.
because you live in such a country where it's a normal diet.
Yeah. Yeah. That is something that's very difficult because, like I was saying, America, everything's very processed, and it's all the stuff that is the least healthy is generally the most convenient. So for example, you have McDonald's. It's just right there. It's always just right there, and you could go get it. And it's cheap, but that is probably one of the most unhealthy things you could get. It'd be so much better to go to the grocery store and buy a fruit or something like that, buy a pear or an apple, and then you could make a salad.
You know,
Then occasionally,
I have been noticing. Don't you see there are so many people gaining weight
mhm,
eating this food by eating this food? I mean, how they gain weight is that they just eat this food. This food doesn't give them anything.
yeah. I think another interesting aspect to it, because you were talking about yoga and how it's not just like it's not just one thing. It's a lifestyle aspect,
Yeah,
and so it's a lifestyle, and so one thing also that's happened in America is we've kind of lost um, this
they are
physical aspect
workaholic.
of. Well, there's that, but it's like also like you're working by sitting in a chair all day and you're working really hard, a lot
Yeah,
of mental energy, but you're not using the rest of your body. And so because of
yeah.
that,
I mean,
you don't
it
you don't work
also,
out.
worsens your health. You are just not working out. Your body, the up
Mhm.
waist is working. I mean, your hands are working. Somewhat
Yeah, a
your
little bit.
head is working, but your body down waist is not working. right? The legs are not, they don't want to walk, right?
Yeah.
They should do yoga, they should do exercise, they should try to avoid, this processed food as much as possible, and go for natural food. I mean, vegetables, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, you were telling me about breakfast and then lunch and then dinner. Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. So breakfast, like I said, is usually a pastry from the bakery, something like that.
Hmm?
Lunch, usually lunch is a heavier meal. Here in Europe, you go and you have, for example, that's when you might have goulash, or you might have potatoes, and they call it rollade, which is like rolled up meat, and you can usually put vegetables in the middle. And you also may have knödel, which is like a kind of like a dumpling, where you go and you have this bread, and then inside there may be something special, but it's like usually like a floury or bread type ball. So
Donuts?
that's not like donuts. So it's like it's more like a dumpling, where you have um, just like flour or bread, and it's just baked into a ball.
I don't know
And then
either.
okay, yeah, but so it's like bread baked into a ball, and it's more healthy than a donut, because a donut's very high in sugar. But this is usually done with a healthier flour, such as like a whole wheat flour or something like that,
Yeah,
or it's
maybe.
made with breadcrumbs.
Okay, do you guys also eat lagoon?
Um,
We call we
yes,
call
yeah.
pulses here. We call them pulses.
Mhm.
I know because she told me this morning, we call it lagoon here.
Hmm, interesting. Yeah, legume. Yeah, yeah. In Austria, it's actually very common. They do a lot with legumes. For example, I believe there's a what's it called, is it Steyr? There's a part of Austria that's kind of known for making stuff with that type of food. So I don't remember exactly what it's called though.
Yeah, there are so many things that I don't know, even in my native language. So it is really hard to talk about those things.
Hmm.
There may be things that you cannot talk about, right?
Yeah, I think there's everybody that they don't know everything. For
Yeah, I
example, I
mean,
could.
sometimes I try to think about something in my native language, then I find myself not being able to do that.
Mhm.
Then I stop. Hey, it's chill. Not everything is not for you. Leave something for other people as well,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's also very cool because when that happens, it can show you, like, if you do want to be able to do that, if that is something that you'd like to do, that shows you where you can do better. And going back to earlier, but with the goals, if you can go and set goals for these things, it's very helpful, and you can progress very quickly if you choose to.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really, learn a lot from you when we talk. We share a great deal of information on so many aspects of life and on the language as well,
Mhm.
right?
That's great.
So I think we should do it more frequently.
Mhm. I'll,
So,
yeah, it's hard. I would like to as well, but it's difficult because I do have a very busy schedule.
no, no, whenever you have time. I also don't want to hamper your work, right?
Hmm.
Whenever you have time, just give me a call or drop me a message. I'll be available. I'm always here. If you need me, right?
Okay,
In any form, you just drop me a message. I'll try to be of some help.
sounds good. I'll make sure you can text me as well. Obviously, you do text me a little bit more often. But yeah, just let me know if you have questions about English or Austria, whatever, and
Great,
I'm happy
great.
to help.
Yeah, sure, sure. I would love to do that.